What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Anteiku, and welcome back to another Cardfight Vanguard Overdress deck profile. And today we're going to be touching on Orfist, the Brandt Gate deck of choice for me that I am a huge fan of. I'm really liking this deck. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty consistent in what it does. And before we begin, guys, please hit that like button if you like this video. Smash that subscribe button. Click the bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a brand new video. Let's get into this thing. Let's look at the ride line first. Orfist Brandt Gate, the card that made me see this for the first time, and I'm like, oh my god, it looks like Chaos Breaker Dragon. It looks like Link Joker. It screams Link Joker, but it's not Link Joker. It's very deceiving, but it's really cool in the new mechanic that they've given this new archetype, the Cardinal Deuce Orfist, or Cardinals if you would. Very cool archetype. Real quickly, let's just start with our starter, grade 0. Cardinal Fang Fovi. I really like the artwork. Really calls back to like the Messiah artwork to me. I'm a huge fan of this deck. The artwork, when I saw on the trailer, I was just like, oh my god, they're bringing back Link Joker. But no, they did something totally different. So anyway, starter says that if you go second when rode upon, you draw a card. Okay. Now, grade 1 is going to be Cardinal Noid Rutus. So when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, you may search your deck for up to one world card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck. Also, on rearguard during the battle, this unit attacked or is boosted. If your world is Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 2,000. So that's not bad, very versatile. I like it when they say and or the fact that it can attack or when it boosts. That makes this card so much more valuable in my opinion, though you don't really need him outside of the ride line. His only purpose is that Vanguard ability to be able to search your deck for the order and add it to your hand, because that's what you want, and that kickstarts your awesome abilities that your Cardinal Deuce is going to be doing. So anyway, next up, it's going to be our grade 2. It's going to be Cardinal Noid Cubicia. Okay, Cubicia. So when a world is put into your order zone, you may choose one of your units and it gets plus 5,000 until the end of turn. Now, that's only a Vanguard ability. Also, he has the same kind of ability that, well, no, it's not really the same. So let me stop there. It's not the same. It's not like the Blaze Maidens. Anyway, during your turn, if your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 5k. So he's always, once you're online, he's always going to be a 15k beat stick. Always. That's beautiful, because the deck always wants to have a 15k beat stick in the front, because the magic numbers for this deck that you're going to be swinging for each column, well, at least the 2 rearguard columns, is going to be about 30,000. Vanguard column is going to vary a little bit, but for the most part, you're still going to be swinging for some beefy numbers. Next up, the main big boy himself, Cardinal Deuce Orfist. So Vanguard or rearguard during your turn, if your world is Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 5k. So he's always going to be an 18k beat stick Vanguard rearguard. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful and very powerful. Vanguard, if your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, you may counterblast 2 and call up to 3 shadow tokens to the rearguard. Your world changes when you play a specific order. So shadow armies have 15k attack and boost. This dude does not need to make a field. Or you don't have to dump hand, I should say, to make field, because he creates his own field, and it's a awesome mechanic. I really love the fact that this thing like makes tokens as like a token oriented deck. It has hand advantage, it has power, it can get threat, and this deck in set 2 just gets even better as time goes on, and there's a reason why this deck is being hyped up right now, and for good reason. Now, if we get into the main part of our deck, we are running 3 more copies of Cardinal Deuce. There's no reason not to run 3 copies of the bad boy himself, because you want to keep persona riding so that you can draw a card and just keep pumping up that front row to make it even beefier, because now those 30k columns I was talking about are going to become 40k columns, if not better if you hit a front trigger or if you hit crits, or even better yet if you hit the over trigger. So yeah, this dude just does what he does. He swings for numbers and he creates tokens. So if you run out of tokens, if something like you're going to be against Eugene, he can just go ahead and get that field back. So basically he kind of laughs at Eugene, I like to say, because he just does. It's like, oh, you killed my field, whatever will I do? Oh, I know, I'll just create a whole nother field. and keep hand. So like stupid card. I am running 2 copies of this other grade 3 of choice, and this is going to be Lightning Thief Monster Jebbatel. Okay, so Jebbatel is very simple in the fact that on rear guard, if your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, when this unit would attack, it battles all of the units in one of your opponent's column. I like this card because I'm a huge Kagero / Dragon Empire fanatic. And this thing reminds me of like one of the stride units that we got early on in G era, where it was like, okay, when you stride against Counterblast 1, and boom, the entire column's gone. But this dude's like, I'm gonna just swing at the entire column, I'm gonna eat it. And I like that. I like that a lot because he gets rid of nuisances of other decks, whether it's Stoicheia, you know, if you're going up against like the Varenas, he's gonna get rid of Varena, and maybe if they got a booster behind the Varena, he's gonna take out the Varenas as well. You know, he's gonna get rid of just other threats. Even if you're going against the mirror match, it's like, oh, you got token columns, boom, I'm gonna eat all those tokens. So pretty good card, simple enough that it does what it does. Next up, we're gonna go into our grade 2 lineup because we don't run many grade 3s. It's gonna be more Cubisia, and again, Cubisia is just super simple. As long as you are in Abyssal Dark Knight, it's gonna be a 15k beat stick. So 15k beat stick, shadow token, 30k column. Persona Ride, 40k column. Persona Ride, maybe I hit a trigger, 50k column. It just gets stupid. It just gets kind of stupid, the numbers that this deck can pump out, and for very little effort. Like, it does not require a whole lot of effort. And by the way, for those who don't know, maybe you're kind of new to the deck, you haven't seen it, these are the shadow tokens. These are the creatures that our boy generates. I think this is really awesome. I think they're badass looking, pardon my French, but I really do. I'm a huge fan. Next up for grade 2, I am running right now 4 copies of Polar Cold Monster, whatever this thing is, Drummler. He's interesting enough. It says when this unit is placed on rear guard, if your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, you may Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and draw a card. He's just there for more hand advantage, and he's a 10k beat stick, so like he just does what he does. The only thing that really eats up Counterblast in this deck is going to be Orfist, but you have ways to countercharge a little bit, so like, yeah. This will change. This is going to change a lot. Like this whole deck in set 2 changes. I wish we had the set 2 support right now, because there's just a better grade 2 that says when it attacks, you may sack a token to retire a unit. Super powerful, super good. I mean, why would you not want to run that? So let's go into our grade 1s. We are running 4 PGs. Not much to say about that. That's standard. Everybody should know that at this point, but if you don't, that's okay. Basically, this blocks any attack one attack. It blocks 1 attack perfectly, so it doesn't matter how big they are, how much they're threatening for. This blocks it. And the new skill on these says that if your hand has 2 or more cards, you may choose a card from hand and discard it. So basically, if you have 2 of these in hand, you can just perfect guard for free, and that's pretty wonderful. Next up, I am running 4 copies of Useful Recharger. And this dude's skill basically says that when this unit is put on the Guardian Circle, you may CB1. If your world is Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 5k shield. And if it is Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 10k until end of turn. So he becomes a pretty nice little shield value if you need it. He's there for the versatility of that, and he's an 8k booster, so it's not too bad. All I really gotta say about this, he's not too bad. Not too bad. Next up, I am running 4 Electrode Monster Adepton, and you may like, why are you running that? Because I should be running Bubble Mines. I'll put him here in the video for you guys to see that. But basically, Bubble Mine allows you to countercharge and soul charge. So basically, if this thing was Bubble Mine, I think it's when he boosts, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe when the attack hits, I forget the stipulations exactly. But again, I'll post that. He'll go into the soul, I do know that. He goes into the soul, and then he allows you to unflip your damage to countercharge. I don't have Bubble Mine yet because he's a pretty expensive card, and it's, you know, resources and all, because I've built this, I've built Stoicheia, I have built Dragon Empire. So like, and I've, you know, yeah, I've built things. So like, resources are a little bit tight at the moment. But yeah, this will be changed for Bulbul Mines as soon as I can get my hands on it. This is just a tech in piece, a replacement piece, because it is a 10k booster in the back. So I mean, worst case scenario, if it's behind a token or if it's behind a Cubicia, then I'm swinging for like 25. Okay, so it's not bad. It's just a replacement piece. Next up, trigger lineup. We are running one over trigger because we can only allow to run one. This is hands down probably one of my favorite. This, I fight for whether or not this one or the Keter Sanctuary is my favorite, because of the fact that this one says that when it's revealed as a trigger check in your drive check, then you can double the attack of the front row and also the crit value of the front row. So you need to think about this real quickly, and I saw a question about this the other day in the Reddit. So here's what I'm going to say that's really awesome about this. If you drive check a crit, and let's just say that you're breaking, you already know that that crit's going to hit, and then you proceed to drive check this, and you use this skill on the Vanguard, your Vanguard goes from 2 crit to 4 crit. Okay? 2 to 4 crit because of this thing. And then that's got double crit. And then that's got double crit. And as a matter of fact, let's say you know that it's not going to hit and they PG it. Okay, well then I give crit and power there. And then when I hit this thing, I double that. So now that's going to be swinging for double the power and double the, and 4 crit. Like, it creates so much insanity in what it does when you do hit it. It's just super freaking explosive. I'm a huge fan. I wish Dragon Empire had this. I wish Dragon Empire had this other than the restand. As much as I love Dragon Empire, I think the over trigger for Dragon Empire is very lackluster compared to the rest of them, honestly. All right, next up, we are running 4 Cardinal crit. We are also running 4 copies rather, of the Battle Princess crit. So we're running 8 crit in this deck because why not? You want to shove crits down their throat. You want to kill them as fast as possible with beefy columns, and that's the thing. We are also running 3 front triggers, because why not? I mean, again, you hit that one turn where like you persona ride, boom, plus 10. You hit a front trigger, boom, plus 10. All of a sudden that's a 50k column swing at their face. It's a 3 swing deck. Unfortunately, it doesn't get multi attacks, but it doesn't need to. That's not a hindrance just because it's only 3 attacks. The 3 attacks are going to be meaningful. They're going to be impactful. They're going to be swinging for like either I'm going to hit your face or I'm stripping cards from your hand if you can't take the damage. And that's where the beauty of the deck lies in, because like you don't need draw in this deck. You draw so much because like you've got so much other advantage going on, because you don't have to dump hand to create a field, because you just keep making tokens. You unflip your damage and you just do these hurdy dirty things and you just go the heck off. We are also running lastly 4 heal, because we like living. Heals are nice, heals are beautiful. Let's do it. So that's all for the trigger lineup. Now let's talk about the orders. Now this is the one thing where I skipped over when it came to the grade ratios. For the grade 3 order, we are running In the Darkness, Nobody Knows. Pretty sick artwork, not gonna lie. So basically, you play this for the cost of 1 Soul Blast. When this card is put into the order zone, choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards and pop it. Basically, those Varina matchups, even though I like playing Varina, it's one of my favorite decks, this thing is hateful. This thing is hateful. It's like, oh, I would hate to see something happen to your Varina Arc or your Varina Valiente. It would be a tragedy if I just, oh, pop, it's gone, it's dead. What are you gonna do? And think about it in set 2, when we get the new grade 2. I'm gonna be like grade 2 over here. Maybe I activate the order and I pop your Valiente, and maybe you got an Arcs over there. Oh, well, I swing and I sack a token. Now I just killed your other Valiente. Nirvana's going to suffer in the matchup against this, because you need your Varinas on the field, and this deck has answers. It can just get rid of stuff for no apparent reason while also still maintaining advantage, and it's stupid. It's stupid good how it's so good, so good. Anyway, next up, we do run 4 copies of Halloween Moonlit Night. Again, huge fan of this card's artwork. So again, another cost of a Soul Blast 1. When this card is put into the order zone, you may draw a card. If your order zone only has world cards, then the following effects are activated according to the number of cards in your order zone. 1, your world becomes Dark Knight, and 2, your world becomes Abyssal Dark Knight. So basically, my order zone, whether or not I have 2 of these, whether, you know, if it's 2 of these, or if it's 2 of these, or if it's just, you know, 1 of each, you're in Abyssal Dark Knight. Abyssal Dark Knight is where you want to be. That is your sweet spot. That's where you want to stay at. But you can only play 1 order per turn, so you need to keep that in mind. You can't just go hog wild and just dump a bunch of, you know, orders on the field and start drawing and popping stuff just for, you know, whatever reason. But the thing is that with these, you can just keep netting advantage every turn. Like, oh, you know, Moonlit Night, draw a card. Next turn, Moonlit Night, draw a card. Draw a card. Or maybe I go up on these. I'm actually considering going up on these for control purposes. Like, netting cards is cool, but the ability to just destroy the opponent's resources, especially important ones like Eden, Alden's, Verena's, this thing is really good. 1 Soul Blast, pop. Next turn, pop. Next turn, pop. You know, that's Magic Christmas Land I'm talking about. I'm not saying you're going to get that every single game, but the ability to have that at your disposal, like a free just Soul Blast, I pop something that I don't want to be on their board that's threatening me, so that I can just threaten them back with big numbers, and then I can just, you know, CV2, boom, boom, you know, boom. Maybe I go here, maybe I go here, maybe I got a whole field right here, you know, like you just do all kinds of the hurdy-dirty things because you don't need to dump field. Maybe I got a Cubisio here, okay? All of a sudden I'm swinging 18, you know, 28 if I've got Persona ridden, or maybe I throw a booster back here. Let's just throw this back here for giggle's sakes. Then all of a sudden that's not, you know, that's still 28 or 38 depending on if you Persona ridden or not. And then all of a sudden these are swinging for 30, not, you know, and again, if you Persona ridden, then that's 40, that's 40. The deck just pumps out numbers, and it does what it does, and I'm a huge fan of this deck. It is really cool. I love Jokers, but like this kind of a mechanic is really cool because it's also still somewhat controlling while also being just absurdly good in its own right, and the deck just gets better again with set 2. So yeah, huge fan, guys, huge fan. That's all I really have time for today, guys. I just wanted to touch on this deck, go ahead and showcase it a little bit. Again, the only changes I would make currently to my deck is that I need the Bulba Mines. I really do need the Bulba Mines. If I had them, I would be playing them, and until then I will just stay with what I got. This deck still works pretty fine. I'm a little tight on resources because of not being able to countercharge as I would like, but sometimes he'll come in on the clutch and they help you to, you know, offset that. But I thank you guys for checking out this video. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button, and until next time, guys, please stay strong, stay healthy, and happy gaming.